they bring a lot of those guys back. So they've got a whole year under their belt. Most of these guys have seen DMACC Tri-Valley twice. So they have a lot of experience just on the field, a lot of experience playing Tri-Valley. Overall, I think that this is going to be a much more competitive game than what we've seen against these two programs in the last couple of years. The captains get ready to go out there. It's definitely going to be a fun night of football.
Yeah, we want to take a quick minute to apologize if our viewers couldn't hear us for the first couple minutes. We had a small technical difficulty with our audio, but nevertheless, glad you're with us for Tri-Valley and DMACC, some very competitive Heart of Illinois large conference football. Tri-Valley comes in this one 1-0 after beating Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond last week. DMACC 0-1, looking to beat Tri-Valley, and the Chiefs have faced the Vikings 4 times since head coach Cody Myers has taken over. That was back in 2020. Tri-Valley has taken every one of those games, and they have a big target on their back this year.
Yeah, they do, and I think that DMACC, again, knows what to expect. They know they're probably the underdog in this scenario, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. That doesn't necessarily mean that they are totally out of this game. They know they can come in and do their thing. Their slogan is do your job. They got to do their job. They're not going to worry about what Tri-Valley is going to do. They know what Tri-Valley is going to do. Cody Myers was mentioning to us before the game last week, they thought that the team, I believe they were playing Ridgeview last week, they were hitting harder than Tri-Valley was. So they're going to be battle tested here early on. It's a brutal first 2 weeks for the Chiefs. But again, this is going to make them better throughout the course of the season. I fully expect DMACC to be a playoff team. And again, Tri-Valley state ranked for a reason. Again, they want to come and play spoiler. It's a beautiful night here in Central Illinois in Mackinac. They want to play spoiler tonight.
Take a look at tonight's forecast. It's a beautiful 76 degrees, partly cloudy. Gavin, you could not paint a better picture than what's before our eyes here in Mackinac tonight. The student section for DMACC yelling the lyrics to Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. We're about ready to get our own party started here in Mackinac. What a game this is going to be, as the Chiefs will receive the opening kickoff from the Vikings. Gavin, this Tri-Valley offense is high-powered, and DMACC, it can also put up some points as well. Running back Brett Denniston will be a big player to watch tonight, but we are all ready to go here at DMACC. The state-ranked Tri-Valley Vikings and the DMACC Chiefs. Glad you're with us here on ClutchSportsIL.com. And the kickoff is away, and the Chiefs will return. It's an up man taking it at the 25, and a hit at the 34, a short return. But DMACC will have decent starting field position.
Yeah, it's going to be about consistency tonight for the DMACC Chiefs. They didn't really get much offensive going last week. Brent Denniston had 102 yards in the loss, but again, didn't find the end zone. So it's going to be about the consistency. I think the defense will be there. I don't believe this will be too high of a scoring game. Again, there will be points on the board, but it's what the Chiefs can do when they have the ball. Can they consistently move it? Can they find the end zone when they get opportunities? That's what it's going to boil down to tonight.
DMACC looking to put up a couple more points than they did last week, albeit against a very good Ridgeview-Lexington defense. First handoff, I believe that goes to Denniston. He tries to make a couple cuts, and for a gain of about 1 or 2. That will be second and long.
Yeah, hard hitting. That's going to be the name of the game for the Tri-Valley Vikings. Saw a swarm of them coming in right there on that first play from scrimmage. Picked up a couple of yards, but again, see if Denniston and this Chiefs offense can settle in quickly.
And Gavin, if I'm mistaken, it looks like number 11 for DMACC. That's Drew Butler is taking snaps at quarterback. Never mind, that is 15 Carson Cassidy. Swings it out to the outside. And a very short gain again, if there's any at all. No gain on the play should bring up 3rd and 8.
There was no gain on the play.
Tice Albritton there on the little screen pass, but it looked like Tri-Valley read that one pretty well. Again, I think people see their Tri-Valley's offense and see their numbers there and are very impressed, and for good reason. But, boy, that defense is stingy, John. We'll talk more about that as this game goes along. Again, hard-hitting, fast, physical, and they can read plays really well, as we saw right there.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking last year, Tri-Valley beat opponents by an average of over 30 points. That credits good defense. Toss here from Cassidy, floated, and that's picked off by the Vikings. Cassidy was trying to find Deniston, and he could not get him. That ball floated up in the air, and it will be an early change of possession.
Number 65,
Didn't quite get a number on who that was for Tri-Valley, but they read that one like a book. Carson Cassidy, the DMACC quarterback, was flustered a little bit there. Perhaps maybe should have thrown that one away.
Boy, that was a huge turn of events early on. Third play of the game. Nice interception right there for Tri-Valley, and they get excellent starting field position for their first offensive drive.
Snap goes to the running back. I believe that is Blake Reginald, who good performance last week against Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond.
Blake Reginald,
one of the longer school names in Illinois, but their claim to fame this year is they have Illinois commit Caden Fegan on their team. Tri-Valley was able to manage them after the first scoring drive for the Knights. 2nd and 6 for Tri-Valley. Just under 10 minutes to play. There'll be another handoff. That is to Josiah Semlau. That will move the sticks, and 2 positive plays for Tri-Valley to start out. They're already at the DMACC 20-yard line.
It's all about moving the ball forward. DMACC didn't really have that on their first drive. Their first couple plays didn't really go anywhere. Now Tri-Valley showing that they can move the ball with some consistency.
Another run play here for the Vikings. It's a gain of a couple there. Looks like that was Reginald on the carry for a pickup of 2.
Solid tackle there by Connor Huff. Kind of wrapped up the legs. Wasn't allowing him to go any farther. That's going to be solid too. One of those things you got to really make sure you're doing is those open field tackles. Don't want to give the players any extra yards. We know these Tri-Valley Vikings are going to fight for every last yard, so got to make sure you make the tackles when you get the opportunity.
Yeah, and that's just a hallmark of small school football. This is some of the best you'll see in Central Illinois. Handoff there goes to number 10. That's Grant Fatima, and he is still on his feet, down inside the 10 to the 6. That will be a first down. It's like I've been a little end around there to their wide receiver. Fatima, a star player for the Vikings, put up some great numbers last year.
He did. He is one of their star playmakers, and just because he's a wide receiver, again, don't let that fool you. He can handle the ball on the ground as well. Made a nice push right there and well into the red zone now for the Vikings.
Andy Knox, the quarterback for Tri-Valley, takes the snap, hands it off to Fatima. He's wrapped up close to the goal line, and he did get in. Fatima sneaks into the end zone by the skin of his teeth, and Tri-Valley is on the board with 8.5 to go in the first quarter. Vikings struck pretty quickly there, Gavin.
Yeah, I mean, to force the turnover on the third play of the game, turn around, make a few nice offensive runs. Boy, couldn't ask for a better start if you're Tri-Valley. It's been a really, really nice start for the Vikings. They're going to go for 2 here. Fatima's going to handle it himself, takes the snap, and he's going to get in for 2, John. Fatima doing it all on this drive. I think that he had about 3 really nice plays on this drive. The touchdown, the 2-point conversion helped move the ball. It's easy to see why Grant Fatima is one of the Vikings' star playmakers.
Grant Fatima can do it all for Tri-Valley. They have had most of the success in this rivalry. Tri-Valley winning the last 4 matchups. And Gavin, I'll have to check my notes for accuracy, but I believe the last time that DMACC beat Tri-Valley was back in 2013. So it's been a while for these DMACC Chiefs, but these last 2 years under head coach Cody Myers, they've looked really good.
Yeah, it's been very close, and we know that Tri-Valley has a huge tradition of success. Again, you hear they're state ranked just about every year. We know the recent deep playoff runs for them went into the semifinals last year, so I can catch my words there. Again, this is a team that definitely has potential to make it all the way to the final game of the season, and has potential to win it all.
And we'll take a look at today's first upstream scoring drive of the game. 5 plays for the Vikings, 35 yards,
Back to kickoff for
just
Tri
over
Valley.
2 minutes.
Number 22, Lucas Blumeyer.
Scoring drive brought to you by Uftry.
Trent Deniston receiving the kick.
Vikings ready to send this kickoff back. That'll be taken on ground ball at the 18. And it looks like Dee-Mack on the seam off the side. There goes Dee-Mack down the sideline. And it will be 6 for the Chiefs. How about that? Lucas Blumeyer, the hero for Dee-Mack. And how about that for a response? Takes it right down the field, 82 yards. House call, Lucas Blumeyer.
Wow, what a response. And you can hear the Chiefs crowd is fired up. Student section is rocking. Everybody is fired up on that one, and that's the kind of response you need right there. That's where the senior Lucas Blumeyer coming in the clutch right there with the big kickoff return for a touchdown. Just like that, the Chiefs with an opportunity to knot this one up early in the first quarter.
How about that for a response for Dee-Mack? It will energize your sideline, energize the crowd, and it'll show Tri-Valley that Dee-Mack isn't here to be, bullied around. Lucas Blumeyer taking it 82 yards to the house.
However you can get your points, John, that's what it boils down to. You don't necessarily have to get points in the most typical ways. Of course, scoring on your regular offensive drives is always very good. It's always very productive. But, again, those special plays, if your special teamers, if your defenses can come up with scores, that adds such a boost, adds such just a jolt to your team. And you can now see visibly that the crowd is into it, the sideline is into it. A quick timeout right here by Cody Myers. They want to knot this one up here early in the first quarter. They want to get this one all even again. He's going to bring on Tice Albritton, the junior. Getting a lot of experience returning from last year. Cody Myers has a great group of skill players to work with and a few studs on the offensive line.
Myers talking over with his team. We'll see what he draws up from the 2-yard line. Chiefs trying to tie it up early here at Jim McDonald Field. Glad you're with us here on ClutchSportsIL.com. Action-packed first quarter as the Chiefs take the snap. It will be a keeper for Cassidy. Runs up the middle. Dog pile looks to be just short of the goal line. We'll see what the spot is. The line judge says no, he did not get in. And the Vikings will hold a 8-6 lead.
Even though they didn't get it, that's the way you want to get back at it. That's the way you want to shift the momentum back in your favor. Again, you don't get the 2-point conversion, but visibly you can still see the jolt of energy that a kick return like that gives to a team, gives to the fans. They need to keep the fans in this game to keep the energy alive.
Really, home field advantage is going to be a big factor in this game, Gavin. I mean, you look at the DMACC stands here, and it is filled. We were talking the car on the way in here. I mean, when you're driving into Mackinaw, you see signs everywhere. I mean, on trees and people's front lawns. There's yard signs. There's little arrowheads everywhere. I mean, this is a town that loves their football, and they're coming out in droves tonight to support the Chiefs.
This is Chiefs Nation indeed, and they love their Chiefs, and especially when they have a rivalry game like this. Anytime Tri-Valley comes to town, again, they know they're usually the underdog in this situation, but they know they have the potential to come out with a victory, and if the Chiefs come out with a victory in this game, they know it's going to be huge. Everybody realizes how big this game is.
Certainly is. Got a quick look there at all the fans from Tri-Valley. The opposing side bleachers are pretty full. A lot of people standing along the rail right behind the track here at DMACC. Tri-Valley located in Downs, Illinois, just a few minutes southeast of Bloomington Normal. They hold an 8-6 lead, and they will be ready to receive here. Kick is away, nearing out of bounds, and that one will take a hop out of bounds. And so Tri-Valley will start this drive in very good field position.
Yeah, Tri-Valley really moved the ball well last time. Again, if you just joined us, Tri-Valley was able to pick off the third play of the game, a pass from Carson Cassidy, the DMACC quarterback. They had excellent field position for their first drive around the 30-yard line or so. Only took them a few plays to get into the end zone, just 5 plays to get 6 and then add 2 more on the 2-point conversion.
Tri-Valley will begin their
Again, if you
drive
missed
at
it, also Dee-Mack with a kick return for touchdown. That's how we're at 8-6 so far. Kind of a fresh slate here, John. I think kind of feels like a new ball game.
It'll be Knox to take the snap. Got rid of that one quickly, but there is some laundry on the field. Most likely a pre-snap penalty here. Let's see what the boys in the Zebras think. Second flag that we've seen today. It will be a false start against Tri-Valley. Can back them up 5 yards.
We have an illegal procedure penalty against the Vikings.
We'll see what this front group of Chiefs can do. Typically playing a 3-4 or 3-5 for the DMACC Chiefs defense. They put a lot of guys up front and a lot of linebackers. They bring a lot of firepower to try and combat the run.
1st and 15 for Tri-Valley. It'll be another handoff to Fatima, and he is met pretty early on. That'll be a gain of about 1 or so. Nice play there from the DMACC defense, led by a great group of linebackers.
Yeah, great group of linebackers. They'll throw 5 linebackers out there from time to time. Connor Huff, a big senior, Cody Myers said put on a ton of muscle this offseason, been in the weight room quite a bit. So they've got some strong forces up there in the middle.
2-man backfield here for Knox and the Vikings. Rolls out to his right, and that one nearly picked off. Not far off there was Dalton Burr, the junior defensive back for the Chiefs. And it will be a 3rd and long for Tri-Valley. Gotta like, if you're DMACC, can't get too confident, but you know, like these last 2 plays, what you've seen here from your defense.
A lot's been swinging in the right direction for DMACC. They got 6. Now they're doing pretty good on defense. Big 3rd down, though.
Another split backfield again. Play is looking about the same. Luke rolls up to the right, gets Fatima, and the physical senior goes past the sticks. A gain of 13 on 3rd and 12. The Vikings got just enough there, and they knew exactly who to go to.
They did, and again, Grant Fatima has been the offensive star so far. We expected him to make some big plays in this game, but he has really controlled this Vikings offense so far. DMACC getting aggressive there on the defense side of things. Didn't have many in the defensive backfield. Pays off for the Vikings, though.
So it will be a run play. It looks like it'll be Reginald. He gets close to the sticks, maybe just a hair short.
Number 34.
Reginald is one of the bigger players on this Vikings roster, 6'1", 195. So he's going to be pretty physical when it comes to running the football. Plenty athletic, but he's going to rely on that physicality. It's going to force DMACC to have to hit harder, bring the player down, but perhaps the flag here. It's going to be a hold, John.
More yellow flags hit the field, 3 in the last couple plays. So that will back Tri-Valley up a little bit. Ball is on their own 47. It still will be a 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Split backfield snap and the handoff. Only about a yard or so there for Tri-Valley. Looks like that was Josiah Semlau. Tri-Valley's running back. They'll make it 2nd and 9.
Connor Huff on there on the stop once again. He's a guy that Cody Myers was speaking very highly of. We expect to see him do a lot of the dirty work in this game. Gets very involved in the trenches, of course, on offense, on the offensive line as well, so look for Connor Huff.
Knox will roll out again. We see him do that a lot. He's looking deep. He's going for Kate Danko, and it's incomplete. Good coverage there from the Chiefs' backfield.
Pass from number 2, and
that was the duo of Tice Albritton and might have been Dalton Burr back there.
Yeah, the Chiefs don't play many in the defensive backfield. Again, they're pretty aggressive up in the box. We'll play a 3-5 at times, a little unorthodox, but staying aggressive are the Chiefs.
8 men in the box here. A little bit of a high snap for Knox. He corrals it just fine. Dump off to Reginald. Will he be forced out of bounds? Yes, that'll bring up 4th down for Tri-Valley. You think the Vikings will go for it here in DMACC territory?
I think they might as well, right? They've been rolling pretty well. DMACC didn't have a lot of successful on offense for the Chiefs, so kind of make them make a stop right here, kind of test the limits, so to speak. It's early in the game, 6 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Might as well take a chance. DMACC crowd getting into it, see if they can put a little energy behind their guys.
4th and 4. There'll be a QB sneak with Knox. He'll run, and he gets just past the first down marker, at least from this angle. And sure enough, the chains are moving. Tri-Valley getting just the amount that they need on 3rd and 4th downs.
Yeah, that's the second time they've gone with the direct snap. They went to Fatima the one time, but going to Andy Knox this time, the 6'2 senior quarterback. Definitely a good call right there. And boy, the offensive line for the Vikings has shown pretty good as well. They are opening up some huge holes, definitely handling their business so far.
A lot of experience on the line for Tri-Valley. It'll be Fatima on the outside. And how about the solo tackle there? That was Dalton Burr again. Great Fatima, Gavin. He's not an easy receiver to bring down. Player who reminds me a lot of Alshon Jeffrey when I was watching some film.
Yeah, I got to agree with you right there. If you mentioned that, I looked up a couple highlights as well, and I can definitely see the Alshon Jeffrey similarities right there. But how about Dalton Burr on the tackle? That was textbook tackling right there, John. Went low, got him on the legs, didn't allow him to advance any farther forward. Just a short gain there for the Vikings. We'll see if the Chiefs can try to come up with another stop.
Tri-Valley putting together a good drive here. 2nd and 7 from DMACC 38. Knox with the keeper, gain of about 3. That'll bring up 3rd and medium.
Andy Knox on the carry for Tri-Valley.
And they've already proven, the Vikings have already proven this is going to be 4-down territory either way, so they've still got 2 shots at it. Perhaps if they can make a big stop right here, perhaps get a sack or something, a tackle for loss, that's going to be the Chiefs' best opportunity to stop them right here. It's going to be close, though. Again, a lot of weapons for the Vikings.
Knox with the keeper again. He stumbles ahead for a couple yards down to the 33. Looks like he might be 1 yard short. We'll see where the refs spot it. Looks very close.
28 Dane Lauer. It's going to bring up a 4th down.
It will be 4th and very short for Tri-Valley. Almost a no-brainer. And head coach Josh Roop is going to go for this one.
I would fully expect to see a direct snap once again, although they can surprise me, but you've got your 2 top running backs there in the backfield. Andy Knox could take it himself.
Knox throws it out to Fatima, and he just flat out dropped it.
Nothing but green grass right there for him to run. Caught the Chiefs off guard a little bit, caught me off guard. But the Chiefs make a stand, and they will get the ball back.
Fatima will be thinking about that one when he goes to sleep tonight. Wishing he brought that one in. Looks like may have just tried to maybe move upfield a little bit too quickly. And ball bounces off his hands. And DMACC will take over. It'll be quarterback Carson Cassidy with Brett Deniston, 1,000-yard rusher last year in the backfield. Cassidy to pass. He's going to look somewhat deep, and he's going to Albritton. Albritton does loose down the sideline. He's brought down just outside the 20. Big play there for DMACC, and a big momentum shift the last 2 plays.
Tice Albritton with a nice haul right there. Tiptoeing the out-of-bounds line, but I'm pretty sure he stayed in bounds right there. Really nice footwork, really nice catch, and Carson Cassidy redeeming himself after the early interception, showing he can shake that one off and made a big play. The Chiefs are rolling right now. The momentum is definitely in the home team's favor. Got to continue it, though. It's that consistency. Can they find the end zone?
1st and 10 from the 22. Handoff to Deniston. He gets inside the 20.
Brent Deniston on the carry for the Chiefs.
And the point I was making so much last year when we were at DMACC are those short 4 to 5 yard runs, how crucial those can be. Again, they start to add up throughout a drive. We will see if they can continue getting a few of those positive yardage plays, even if they're not necessarily going for huge runs or whatever. 4 or 5 yards, they start to stack up. Got to keep moving forward.
Consistent movement on offense will be key for DMACC tonight. They're searching for their first win over Tri-Valley in quite some time. For that snap will be a flag on the field. Could be a false start against the Chiefs. It will be offsides. Instead, that will move it 5 yards in the Chiefs' favor. Rather than being 2nd and 11, 2nd and 1 for D-Mac now. And all of a sudden, Tri-Valley, they might be a little bit out of their comfort zone right now. We'll see if they can hold on to bending but not breaking.
Yeah, bend, don't break. That's big for a defense, and we know Tri-Valley's very good at it. They have a really good defense. 3 wide receivers out, though.
A trio at the top of your screen is Butler, Albritton, and another one, but that play going for short yardage. Denniston on the carry. It will be a 3rd and 1. A big play here for D-Mac. You hand it off here to Denniston, or do you maybe do a quarterback keeper? You throw it out to the perimeter?
I would go back to Denniston again, although it does look like they're perhaps going to measure officials' timeout right here. If it is indeed short, John, I would say give it back to Denniston. Try to do more of a power run, maybe up to the left side, to the far side of the field where they have a little more territory. Perhaps he could find a hole and break out a little bit. Could find the end zone if he had enough green grass open. But again, it's going to depend on the spot. Perhaps they got the first down right here.
This one looks to be very close.
We do have a score update.
Chain gang
With 9
gives it a measurement. That one is mere centimeters, it looks like. Very close. It looks like that might be a first down. We will see. Referees are still talking. Instead, it will not be a first down. It will be 3rd and inches. Disregard the first down call. The Chiefs have very short yardage to go. Handoff does go to Dennis, and he gets tripped up with his lineman, and that'll be a small loss. So 4th and short for the Chiefs here. They do have a kicker on their roster, number 14, J.J. Chapman, the senior. Although it looks like D-Mack's offense will stay out on the field.
No, they're moving forward, John. They're giving them the first down on a massive turn of events. I thought he lost yardage there, but perhaps fell forward.
I looked away for 1 second, Gavin, and you were right. Barely got the first down there. Just happened to look away for about 2 seconds and ended up costing me.
No worries there. I mean, it's kind of a weird turn of events. Again, I thought they were short, but first down for the Chiefs.
From the 12, Cass looks to throw, swings out to Denniston, trying to bring it in with one hand and could not. He had to elevate slightly to get that ball. That was a tough one to get. Second and 10 for D-Mack here. They took possession after a 4th down stop. Tri-Valley wide receiver Grant Fatima couldn't haul in a pass on 4th and short, and D-Mack took over. Chiefs got on the board with a 82-yard kick return from Lucas Blumeyer. Handoff, keeper for Cassidy. Small pickup there, just inside the 10. That will be about a 3rd and 6. Mark it at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, 3rd and manageable now. Got at least a couple yards, and probably going to be the last play of the first quarter if I had to guess. This would be an opportunity again. Go to Blumeyer or go to Denniston. Go to your workhorses there in the backfield. See if they can break off for a big run. Although Tri-Valley's had their number early on, they've gotten creative. Went to Tice Albritton, passed it a few times. We'll see what Cody Myers has dialed up here for 3rd and short.
Trips left for D-Mack. 30 seconds to go in the first. It'll be a bubble screen, and it can't be brought in. That ball may be going backwards. Good awareness there for D-Mack and falling on it. Believe that may have been Albritton who fell on the football. Could have been very costly there for D-Mack because that ball did go backwards and Tri-Valley could have recovered.
They could have recovered. Fortunately for D-Mack, they were smart enough to jump on it. But they're going to go for it here. Not a bad play. No disrespect to the kickers, but you got to stay aggressive if you're the D-Mack Chiefs.
Blumeyer, Albritton at the top of your screen. Dennison in the backfield. Cassidy looks to throw. He's scrambling. He's looking and can't find his receiver. And an unsuccessful 4th down for DMACC. Both teams getting big stops on 4th down to keep this first quarter scoring to a minimum.
Bend don't break. You mentioned it, John. They did it very well right there. Kept them uncomfortable. Kept Carson Cassidy a little uncomfortable there. And able to force a turnover on downs. Tri-Valley, not great starting field position, but again, they get a chance to run a play here and take the ball into the second quarter.
In all likelihood, it will be one play at the end of the first quarter here. Handoff here goes to Reginald, and he bursts through the line up to the 20. Nice speed shown off there by the Tri-Valley back, who has both speed and power.
He certainly does, and reminds me of a Mid-Illini powerhouse fullback, Tanner Sprecher. Very strong, very big, but kind of has that late burst of speed, kind of that flash of athleticism there late. Was able to help get him the first down and a couple. Definitely a nice run right there from Reginald.
First quarter in the books here in DMACC. I want to take a quick break to remind you that tonight's broadcast is sponsored by your good neighbors at State Farm, Jody Brown in Peoria, Illinois, Zach Butler in Pekin, Jake Weston in Washington, Illinois. You see their phone numbers all on the screen. Or visit them at their respective websites, JodyBrownAgency.com, SFButler.com, and JakeWestonInsurance.com as well. Tonight's broadcast is also brought to you by Uftring.
Brand new 2023s.
Big trade value.
Low interest rates.
Don't wait until tomorrow. Lock it in today at every Uftring Auto Group dealer. New inventory is increasing and arriving daily. All priced the Uftring way with no market adjustments over sticker. UftringAutoGroup.com.
Welcome back into Mackinaw. Tri-Valley leading DMACC after 12 minutes. 8-6 the score. Tri-Valley getting a touchdown early on their first drive of the game. Lucas Blumeyer with an 82-yard kick return for DMACC on the ensuing kickoff to respond for the Chiefs. 2-point conversion was no good, and that is how we got to this point.
It's been kind of back and forth so far. I feel like the momentum's been swinging in both teams' directions at different points in this game. Early on, it was Tri-Valley. Midway through that first quarter, DMACC took it back. Now Tri-Valley feels like they've got a little more momentum with that 4th down stop. Now with the ball to start quarter number 2.
Backfield of Reginald and Semlau. And that will not be a first down for Tri-Valley on the short carry. That'll bring up a third and manageable, but still long. Devin, not a lot of huge plays other than that big pass from Cassidy to Albritton and Blumeyer's kick return for a touchdown.
Yeah, not a ton of huge plays, but Tri-Valley's had good consistency so far with their offense.
Make that 2nd and 8 as Reginald busting out to the outside. He gets close to the 30-yard line before he's brought down. Another good tackle there by the Chiefs defense.
Tackled by number 4.
That tackle was by Tice Albritton, who just mentioned, a two-way player for the Chiefs. And Gavin, that was something we noticed about DMACC. A lot of players play both ways for them.
Yeah, they do have a lot of guys that go both ways. Carson Cassidy up there on the defensive line. Pretty much all of their linebackers, starting linebackers, play both ways as well. So definitely getting their reps in.
DMACC stacks the box on 3rd and 1. It'll be Knox to carry, and he fooled him. He's past the 45. He's got green grass. That goes Andy Knox, and he is wide open for a touchdown. A 71-yard scamper on the QB sneak. What a fake there from the Vikings. And Andy Knox had so much room in front of him. He could have kept going into the cornfields here in Mackinaw.
Well, he broke a couple tackles there early on and had nothing but green grass, heading for the red DMACC Chiefs end zone down here on the right end. Nice job there from Andy Knox. Fooled him on the keeper. DMACC didn't quite read that one successfully, and again, back and forth we go. The momentum back in Tri-Valley's favor. They're going to go for 2 again. Successful last time, trying to add 2 more.
That will be a carry for Knox. He's brought down to the backfield, so
Number 2.
Chiefs hold them to just 6 points. And they lead 14-6 here in the start of the second quarter. Glad you're with us here on ClutchSportsIL.com tonight. Alongside me is Gavin Russell. I'm Jonathan Michael. Josh Messenger at our controls tonight. Rodrigo Perez and Latif Love up on the roof of the press box. Paco Alonso doing some social media and photography work. Upstream scoring drive update for Tri-Valley. 4 plays, 92 yards, 2 minutes and 6 seconds. Capped off by the 71-yard scamper by Vikings quarterback Andy Knox, a first-year starter for the Vikings.
Yeah, you mentioned we hadn't had a ton of big plays. At least Tri-Valley hasn't had a ton of big plays. They did have the interception, but pretty consistent offensive movement. Well, there's a big play for you right there, John. 71-yard touchdown run by Andy Knox. Again, it's not just the running backs that can do it all. Grant Fatima, they don't have to do it all. Quarterbacks getting involved. And again, solid line play so far from the Vikings. Overall, it's been a really fundamentally sound game. I'm very impressed, though, with both teams. Great open field tackling. Not a lot of missed things. It's just been the playmakers making big plays when they get the opportunities. Overall, it's been a really well-rounded football game.
Darkness starting to set in a little bit here at DMACC. Still a beautiful night for football here as Week 2 gets underway across the state of Illinois.
Number 10.
We'll give you updates of any scores that we see at halftime of this one. For now, it is Tri-Valley 2 kickoff. Fielded at the 24, and Chiefs could have some room, but brought down at the 40-yard line.
I love the zoom on that. That's very natural looking.
Not sure if the camera picked it up, but Lucas Blumeyer, boy, he had a huge block right around the 30-yard line. Again, didn't get a chance to see if the camera caught it, but a booming block laid out whoever he was blocking from Tri-Valley. Again, Chiefs want to match that hard-hitting mentality. They want to play with some ferocity in this game, as Tri-Valley always does. But now they got to focus on their offense. Haven't been able to score on an offensive drive so far. We'll see if they can finally find the end zone for 6.
See what the Chiefs can do. Man in motion in the backfield, and a handoff to him. Believe that might be Albritton. No, that it was Blumeyer. Down to the 20 about. What a huge play there for DMACC. That was in fact Blumeyer, and his legs have ran quite a long ways just early in the second quarter in this game, Gavin.
Boy, Blumeyer has done so much for the Chiefs offense. Got in for 6 on the kickoff return for a touchdown, but hit the outside, turned on the afterburners, and that's way more than a first down for the Chiefs. We do have a player on the sideline down for Tri-Valley, so we're going to get a brief pause right here. I believe that's Cade Danko, sophomore. May have fell awkwardly on trying to tackle Blumeyer right there at the end of the play. Looks like he's going to walk it off and be all right. But again, a big play there from Lucas Blumeyer, and Brent Denniston and company, as well as Blumeyer, doing a lot.
And speaking of Brent Denniston, Gavin, he is one of our players to watch tonight. Denniston had over 100 yards last week against Ridgeview Lexington, the 4th-ranked team in Class 1A. And for Tri-Valley, wide receiver Grant Fatima put up great numbers last year. New quarterback in Knox this year, but the full receiver comes down with a lot of jump balls. And he'll be a player to watch tonight. Already got some carries out of the backfield too, so making it hard for DMACC to stop him in both facets of the game.
Let's go.
It'll be 1st and 10 for DMACC at the 19. Handoff up the gut. Very little gain there.
You mentioned Denniston, though, as well as Knox, Fatima. So many great playmakers out here. Definitely potential college talent. Again, I'm not quite sure about what they may have in the way of recruiting, but definitely some potential out here. Great small school football players, just great high school football players in general. They bring so much to the table.
2nd and 9 for DMACC at Tri-Valley's 18. Handoff, looks like it will be Cassidy on the fake. He's still going forward, legs churning. Now into about the 16 and a half or so.
Looked like he faked a double reverse right there. Something of that effect at least. Not exactly sure what they're going to call that play, but definitely going for an option play right there. It's worked out a couple of times. Cassidy's taken it himself. Maybe trying to replicate what Andy Knox did for Tri-Valley on their last drive, but to no avail. Tri-Valley come with a big stop right there, and it brings up a big 3rd down and long for the DMACC Chiefs.
3rd and 7 for DMACC. 8 points needed to tie up Tri-Valley. They might get 6 here. Into the end zone for the Chiefs. That was Lucas Blumeyer. Who else has been the big play threat for DMACC tonight? Chiefs respond yet again. They've done that so well tonight, and they make this game a little bit closer at 14-12.
Get that man some oxygen, John. He has been running all over the place for sure, but we've got a flag. No wonder they look so deflated after the touchdown.
This one will be on the Chiefs, so we'll come back. Didn't quite get a look at what the call was. My guess would be it would be a hold or a block in the back.
Yeah, that's definitely disappointing. Blumeyer going for TD number 2. Looked like a timeout perhaps here from Cody Myers and company. Having some words with the official though. But definitely a disappointment there if you're Lucas Blumeyer. He has been running all over. Talk so much about Brent Denniston. He's a great junior running back, 1,000-yard rusher a season ago. But again, Lucas Blumeyer kind of adds that Swiss Army knife effect. He can be a receiver, he can be a running back, he's big on special teams. You need guys like that on a team that can do just a little bit of everything, have your hand in a little bit of everything. That's so crucial, and DMACC has a great guy in Lucas Blumeyer.
2 wide receivers, Blumeyer and Fatima, making their presence known in the backfield tonight. Something to watch for both teams, and look at these teams. The wide receivers can run it. The running back's not too shabby either. We've seen Cassidy and Knox take off more than a couple of times as well. 3rd and 8 for DMACC at Tri-Valley's 18. After Lucas Blumeyer's touchdown scamper was called back. Timeout was taken by Josh Roop and Tri-Valley. And looks like it's like Carson Cassidy is a little confused. Looks like he was trying to put a helmet strap, possibly fasten that up for his running back, Brett Dennison. Great teammate there. Man in motion for DMACC.
Pass incomplete.
That was incomplete. Looking for Blumeyer there.
It's going to bring up a 4th.
I believe Blumeyer threw that ball.
I think Blumeyer.
A little short on the throw, though.
Yes.
Otherwise, they would have worked. Had an open man, just couldn't execute on the pass.
Yes, it looks like Blumeyer was the man in motion behind Cassidy. Took the handoff from his quarterback, tried to throw, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th and 8. So, big play here for DMACC. These are the chances they're going to have to take advantage of if they want to hang with Tri-Valley at the top of the heart of Illinois Conference. And it's Blumeyer inside the 10.
Lucas Blumeyer on the carry for the Chiefs.
And it's going to be close to a 1st down. Line judge standing right at the marker about.
By number 65, Jacob Bishop.
Jacob Bishop for Tri-Valley on the tackle. And how about that? Blumeyer got just enough. And now the Chiefs are in a goal-to-go situation.
Boy, that was awfully close. He hit the outside. Was he going to get enough? It was awfully close. Nice job right there, cutting out just enough yards for DMACC. Again, they had this situation last time, couldn't convert on 4th down. 4 downs to work with inside the 10-yard line. They got to get 6 here in a crucial position.
1st and goal from the 9. Cassidy in the shotgun again. 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your screen. And he will hand it off here to Dennison. Going off the right side. Pick up of a couple. Adam Mollico and Parker Eccles, the 2 offensive linemen for DMACC, paving the way for Denniston.
Gain of 3 yards on the play. It's going to bring up a 2nd down and 7.
And Gavin, Dee-Mack, and Tri-Valley a little bit as well. A lot of these plays, they've just been chipping away, chipping away, chipping away. Tri-Valley found the jackpot with the big play on the quarterback run from Knox, but Dee-Mack has really been wearing out Tri-Valley's defense, keeping them on the field for quite some time. See what the handoff goes to here. Cassidy keeps it. And he gained a little, not too much though. Another 3rd down situation for Dee-Mack.
They are so close but yet so far away because Tri-Valley is just holding an absolute wall here at the goal line. They did on the last drive. They're doing it once again. That's why they're so tough to penetrate. You really got to make that big play. You really got to get it into the end zone. Again, a crucial situation for the Chiefs. You can't let these drives stall out in the red zone. You get so close. You got to be able to put it in for 6. We'll see if they can give a big play here, even though it wouldn't be big in terms of yardage. They're going to need Denniston or Blumeyer to step up here and get them into the end zone.
Dee-Mack has been on a drive that's now reaching over 4 minutes. Cassidy runs to the outside. He's going to try and beat him to the sticks. He's running, won't get to the pylon. Instead, a solo tackle there. It looked like that was Reginald, two-way player. Tri-Valley's running back and linebacker on the tackle. Reginald with a tackle. That'll make it 4th and goal from the 4. Another big play here for Dee-Mack. So many 3rd and 4th downs we've seen here tonight, Gavin.
This is about the 5th big 4th down we've had in this game so far. Very crucial 4th down. Plain and simple, it's going to go one way. Tri-Valley's going to hold. They're going to put up a wall again, or Dee-Mack's going to get in for 6. It's a big play in the 2nd quarter.
Both teams coming to win. And they're not here to kick field goals. Cassidy with the toss. Incomplete. It looked like he was looking possibly for Blumeyer in the end zone. A couple groans from the sideline, maybe looking for a pass interference, looking for Albritton rather than Blumeyer. And for the 2nd time, Gavin, Dee-Mack gives it up on a turnover on downs inside Tri-Valley's 10-yard line.
Yeah, that's a really tough situation. I think it was just Dee-Mack to blame right there themselves, a little miscommunication. You have that at times. Now they have an opportunity, though, if they can really pin Tri-Valley in close, come up with another big stop.
First play from scrimmage of this drive will be along the left side. Looks like that was Reginald on the carry there. Just making a pretty nice tackle on that same sideline. Pickup of 9 for Tri-Valley.
That's going to give them quite a bit of breathing room right there. They were pinned in 5 yards to the end zone, so you absolutely, of course, risk if Dee-Mack can come in for a sack or a tackle for loss. It could be a safety, but plenty of breathing room now, and Tri-Valley has continued to roll.
From the shotgun, it is Knox. Rolls out to his right. He'll keep this one, and he trucks a defender. Although there is a flag on the play. This one might be coming back for holding, Gavin, but how about that from Andy Knox? He showed no fears engaging with one of Dee-Mack's linebackers, and he put him on the turf.
Well, if you didn't believe me when I said they're hard hitting, now you do. Even the quarterback willing to dish out some hits. You know Tri-Valley has come to play, but pretty clear hold, at least to my eye. Looked like it was potentially Dalton Bird trying to come in on the tackle. Got his jersey yanked pretty good, pretty noticeably. So that one's going to back up. Getting back to 1st and 10 right here. A few flags early on for Tri-Valley, so might want to clean that up because that's, again, positive yardage they're losing. Definitely something they want to clean up as they go forward in the season.
Yeah, in week 2, so Russ maybe not fully off the vehicle yet for teams in high school football. 1st and 15 for Tri-Valley at their own 9-yard line. They had a 92-yard scoring drive to extend their lead at 2:14-6. Knocks a throw. He's looking left. In a double coverage. Fatima can't quite come up with it. Fatima can catch a lot of balls in double coverage. That one just maybe a little bit too wobbly there from Knox.
Yeah, Brent Denniston on the coverage, and he's a linebacker, but him and Blumeyer, again, being linebackers, kind of in that hybrid role. They can kind of shift into the defensive backfield when teams do drop back to pass, and good coverage there. It looked like he had an opportunity to make a play on the ball as well, but either way, DMACC come with a big stop right there. 2nd and long now. We'll see if they can continue to pin them in.
That play is going nowhere. Ball is loose. Tri-Valley looks to have recovered at their own 6.
Fumbled snap right there, and Knox barely able to corral it. Lucky that one didn't go all the way back into the end zone. Again, lucky they jumped on top of it, but now the Chiefs, 3rd and way long for the Vikings, near country mile territory, John, dare I say. This is a real good opportunity for the Chiefs to come up with a huge stop right here, be able to get the ball back in good field position. Just got to hold on these next 2 plays.
3rd and 17. We'll expect the Chiefs to play pretty deep coverage, maybe a cover 2, cover 3. To throw is Knox, and he's being brought down. Will that be a safety or will they mark forward progress? That will not be a safety, but very close to it. DMACC read that play like a book. And Tri-Valley, I think, will have no choice but to punt from very deep in their end zone.
Yeah, got forward progress right there, and again, got fortunate once again for Tri-Valley, but what a solid tackle right there. Came up, put the body in, backed them all the way up into the end zone. Now, this is not an easy punt, John. This is going to be very tough all the way back in the end zone. Got to execute perfectly here.
See if the Chiefs can block it. Kick is away. It is a very short one. Chiefs will get the ball. Ball bouncing out to the 27. So credit Tri-Valley's punter for getting that ball away. That was, see who that was on the punt for the Vikings, but got it away, but didn't go very far. Maybe that's all about you can ask right there with your back pinned up against the wall.
Yeah, again, that's a really tough punt. Way into the back of the end zone. At least they moved them off the goal line right there. But the Chiefs with a big opportunity, and again, you can feel the energy start to get back here into Jim McDonald Field. 3:42 left. Can the Chiefs finally get 6 on offense?
Whistle blows. We'll see what this is. Might be a timeout. Could be an official's timeout. It's like there's conversation going on. And we'll be offside for Tri-Valley. Another penalty from a team that we expect to be very disciplined. They were very disciplined last year. And penalties have kind of hurt the Vikings a little bit today. Al March, Dee-Mack forward 5 yards into the red zone. Or excuse me, to the edge of the red zone on Tri-Valley's 22. Cassidy lifts the leg, puts the man in motion as Blumeyer again on the end around, and he'll be shoved out of bounds at the 25. Loss of 3 there. Nice job by Tri-Valley sealing the edge, and Blumeyer couldn't turn it upfield.
Yeah, not a lot of room to run out there. They kind of kept forcing him towards the sideline. That was really well-executed defense there from Tri-Valley. Again, made the tackle, forced him towards the sideline, loses a couple yards right there. Got to keep moving forward. They've been stopped twice in this game within the 10-yard line. They got to be able to move the ball forward, capitalize on an excellent field position. Got to find a way to get 6 before this quarter's over.
See if the Chiefs can give it back to their star running back, Brett Denniston. It will be a pass, but that one was broken up. That was number 63, Logan Petterilli, the senior lineman, breaking it up. Nice awareness there to get a paw in the air and deflect that pass, bringing up another 3rd down for DMACC.
Yeah, we know we don't have official stats, John, but I would say that's probably his 2nd or 3rd pass deflection. He's really pressured Carson Cassidy on a number of occasions in this game, made him a little bit uncomfortable even on some of those shorter passes. Definitely for the junior quarterback still trying to settle in against a really ferocious Tri-Valley team. Got to execute on those short passes.
Vikings have stopped the Chiefs for the most part in their own side of the field. Faked here, Cassidy keeps it, and he won't be anywhere near a 1st down. Now bring up yet another 4th down Jacob Bischoff on the tackle for Tri-Valley. Middle linebacker's been making a lot of noise for the Vikings so far. 4th and 5, Dee-Mack.
He's one of their defensive anchors, and as soon as he saw Cassidy with the ball on the keeper, he hit him pretty hard, only allowing him to get a couple yards. 4th down, this is probably the most crucial play of the game up to this point, John. Dee-Mack's got to make something happen.
Just under 3 minutes to go in quarter number 2. Cassidy looking what to do with it, hands it off. He doesn't have the first down, will they have 6? Not quite. And the ball carrier knocked out of bounds. That could have been Blumeyer. I believe it was. Lucas Blumeyer, another big run.
First and goal from the 2.
Right when DMACC needs it, they know who to dial up.
And the entire DMACC roster owes Lucas Blumeyer a steak dinner after this one. He has been running all over the field, special teams, offense. He's made some big things happen. Now, within 10 yards, 3rd time's a charm for DMACC potentially.
DMACC 0 for 2 on finishing off drives when they get inside Tri-Valley's 10. The handoff looks to go to Dennison, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, DMACC. Brent Dennison, the running back for the Chiefs, who we highlighted, gets in the end zone. It was only a matter of time before he would find Pater.
There is his first touchdown of the year, the 1,000-yard rusher, 16 TDs in 2021. Didn't find the end zone last week. He's going to find it in the first half of this game, and the Chiefs an opportunity to tie it up. Missed a couple opportunities early on, but they are holding neck and neck with state-ranked Tri-Valley. You got to be pretty happy if you're Cody Myers. Now an opportunity to take a real jolt into halftime. They can keep this score right where it is and potentially add 2 more right here.
2-point conversion. Handoff. Looks like it goes to Dennison, and he's in. DMACC is, as Blumeyer, rather, and DMACC, regardless of who carried it in, they have tied up this ball game against Tri-Valley. Couple players still on the field, though. This could be a flag. We may do it again. So hold off on celebration for DMACC of tying it up. That was a hold on DMACC. But we'll see what they elect to do here.
Really tough turn of events right there. Right when you think you get it tied up for 2, a flag comes in that's always very deflating. These are the opportunities, though, for teams to really learn in these situations. It's going to be a long 2-point conversion now. Be about 11 or 12 yards out. See if perhaps they go back to the air again, let Carson Cassidy try to sling it in for 2.
Cassidy has 2 receivers out wide, motioning one, motions another one. That could be another flag, or rather a timeout for Cody Myers. He's a little frustrated with all the motion going on in the backfield. He thought the guys looked a little confused.
Yeah, definitely a little confused right there. And again, this is a big opportunity. Couldn't get the 2-point conversion on their first touchdown. Definitely trying to not replicate that. They definitely want to get in for 2 more. Tied this game up at 14. Again, especially considering how much Tri-Valley's taken it to them in the last couple of seasons, how good Tri-Valley has been against DMACC. DMACC's got to be very proud of where they are right now. Within 2 points, an opportunity to tie, and we're nearly at halftime. Again, it's going to be a long game. There's a lot of game left to be played, but you got to take it quarter by quarter, drive by drive. DMACC trying to cap it off with 2 more right here.
Yeah, what a win for the program this would be for DMACC. Tri-Valley state ranked right now. They're near the top in 2A. DMACC hasn't beaten the Vikings since 2013. 2-point conversion here from the 11-yard line. 2 receivers in the backfield. And we will have yet another stoppage as Cody Myers takes a 3rd timeout. Gavin, he talked a lot with Josh Roop. He knows how Josh Roop coaches, and he's trying to outcoach him here. Maybe a little trickery, switching up plays a little bit. He doesn't want to lose that battle tonight.
Josh Roop is playing checkers, and Cody Myers is playing chess right now. He is I can almost guarantee that was designed right there to send his offense out there just to see what the Tri-Valley defense was going to set up as. I totally believe that was a designed kind of fake timeout, if you will. So definitely this is going to be the play that they want to execute. They got to see what Tri-Valley was going to set up as. Now can the Chiefs come out and execute on the long 2-point conversion?
After the penalty and burning 2 timeouts, Dee-Mack will line up at the 11 for the 2-point conversion. Man in motion, he'll be casting to throw. Looking for his guy in the end zone, and it's caught! Back corner and double coverage, but no, the referee says he did not hang on to it. That pass was going for Albritton, his receiver on the right side. Albritton looked to have came down with that, but alas, he did not. And that makes 2 unsuccessful 2-point attempts for Dee-Mack.
Oh, so close, and Cody Myers gives him a pat on the back right there. He'll have a conversation with the officials. Maybe he saw something he didn't like right there. Perhaps a little shoving going on, a little defensive pass interference. But again, nonetheless, 2 touchdowns. It is 2-point game right now, 2:35 left to go in the half.
Dee-Mack's got to be happy about where they're at. The tomahawk chop plays are up during scoring drive. 5 plays for Dee-Mack, only 27 yards after the short punt and the 4th down stop, taking just over 2 minutes off the clock. And there's just over 2.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter here in Mackinaw, Illinois. Beautiful night for football. A closely contested match. Both teams going blow for blow. See what Tri-Valley, they can muster a quick scoring drive before heading into the locker room. Their last touchdown, a 79-yard scamper from quarterback Andy Knox.
Let's see how long Dee-Mack can hold on. This is a big 2:35. Even if Dee-Mack doesn't score in this half, they need to just make a hold right here. They cannot afford to give Tri-Valley a score this late in the half. Again, momentum-wise, getting the crowd into it, this is a big 2:35 coming up for Dee-Mack.
Kick is away. It's a pretty good one. That one will be caught inside the 20 at the 18. And that might be Fatima making a guy miss, and he's across the 40, up to the 42. Rather than Fatima, that was Blake Reginald for the Vikings. And Tri-Valley will have good starting field position at their own 41, so more than enough time for them to concoct something up before the half.
Yeah, there's definitely plenty of opportunity for Tri-Valley, but again, that's why it's going to be so big for Dee-Mack to limit big plays. Tri-Valley can get some yards. You just got to keep them out of the end zone in the next 2 minutes and 27 seconds.
Knox throws a screen. That was for Reginald, and he couldn't hang on to it. A couple times we've seen that on both sides tonight.
Whoever has the ball.
2nd and 10 for the Vikings upcoming.
Yeah, definitely another short pass drop right there. That's the second one we've seen. Fatima dropped one earlier, just a little short bubble pass. But again, dropping that right there, maybe getting a little ahead of themselves, John. A lot of open grass to run on. Beautiful artificial turf here at Dee-Mack. Couldn't come up with the ball.
Mentioned the artificial turf, Gavin. Dee-Mack not the only team in the heart of Illinois Conference to have new turf, but this was Reginald. He's running on that turf and putting it to good use. He's inside the 40. He still can't be brought down. Down inside the 25 is Reginald to the 23. A gain of 36 for the Vikings tailback. After that play, great run there from the Vikings running back.
Blake Reginald, the bulldozer, coming in, pounding a couple of guys down to that artificial turf we were just talking about, and he continued turning his legs, making a couple people miss. Ball's on the 24, and the Vikings have 2 minutes to go 24 yards for a touchdown.
1st and 10 from the 24. Knox with the keeper, and he ran into closed elevator doors there, flag in the backfield.
There is a flag on the play.
We'll see what this is. It looks like it will be against Tri-Valley, so take away the scramble from Knox, who has plenty of rushing yards to his name here just in the first half. I imagine, Gavin, although we don't have official stats, it's got to be somewhere near 100.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. He had that big, long run for a touchdown earlier in the game, but again, there's another penalty. They've kind of come at inopportune times. definitely holding back Tri-Valley a little bit. Something that I'm sure Josh Roop's going to be preaching in the halftime huddle. Keep the penalties down. It's hurting him, backs him up to the 34-yard line. A little more to do to try to get 6.
2 receivers at the top of your screen for Tri-Valley. That's Nicholas Tragot and Fatima. A throw it out left down to the 31. Gain of 3 there. A positive play there for DMACC. They just want to play keep away, and by keep away I mean keeping Tri-Valley out of the end zone.
Just got to put a wall up. Even if they end up at the half-yard line, the Chiefs will take it. They got to keep him out for 6 in a little over a minute now. Josh Roop does have 2 timeouts left to use. We'll see how he plays those.
Cassidy, the handoff to Reginald, goes outside, inside the 30, brought down at the 25. It's a good solo tackle there from Tice Albritton. And the Vikings will call their second timeout.
58 seconds remain in the half. Bend, don't break. That's where the Chiefs are right now.
Under 66 left here in quarter number 2. Glad you're with us here on Clutch Sports Media. I want to take this time to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by your good neighbors at State Farm. Jody Brown in Peoria, Illinois. Zach Butler in Pekin. Jake Weston over in Washington. Give him a call, 309-693-1103, 309-347-3115 to reach Zach Butler, 309-444-4441 to reach Jake Weston over in Washington, or visit their websites listed on the screen below. I want to thank our great partners over at State Farm for their support of high school sports here in Mackinac tonight.
Ready, 1. Take 1.
It'll be at 3rd and 12 here for the Vikings after the holding penalty on first down. I imagine this is 4-down territory, so can almost imagine this as being a 2nd and 12. Knox to throw. He'll look to the outside.
Ready, 2.
That one is incomplete. Big hit there from the secondary. I believe that was Albritton. Andy Knox was looking for Tragot, his junior wideout.
We're going to talk a lot about Denniston and Blumeyer, and they've had big first halves and take nothing away from that. But quietly, Dalton Burr and Tice Albritton have come up huge in this game, both offensively and defensively. They've got one thing in their mind on the defensive backfield, make some hard hits and make some good open field tackles. They have executed very well. Again, maybe a little bit in the background, but I got to give those 2 guys a lot of props here in the first half.
Gavin Dee-Mack's defense has played exceptional, aside for a couple big plays given up. 4th and 12 here. Knox goes out. He's being chased. That one lifted up in the air, almost picked off. That could have been 6 if Dee-Mack could have came up with that. But nevertheless, a turnover on downs for the Chiefs, and they keep Tri-Valley out of the end zone.
What a big turn of events right there, and it looked like Tri-Valley was rolling. They were going to roll right into the end zone with the short half left. Penalty set them back. DMACC making a big hold right there, bringing some big pressure in. It looked like Denniston almost got in there for the strip sack. I was wondering for a second if it could have been a fumble, but again, it was a forward pass, incomplete. Nevertheless, DMACC gets the ball back.
DMACC with just under 50 seconds left, assuming with no timeouts that they'll take this into the half. And you got to be pretty content if you're head coach Cody Myers. Obviously, you want to be on top, but be within 2 points of of Tri-Valley, something that the Chiefs can hang their hat on.
Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the last 2 times this team played each other, week 2 last year, Tri-Valley won 49-8. Last year in the playoffs when these 2 teams met, 42-0. So this is a very close game. Tri-Valley has not gotten worse. They are still very highly state ranked. And DMACC is just going to take this into halftime.
5 ticks remaining here. And it will go into the half. Tri-Valley leads DMACC 14-12 in a riveting ball game here in Mackinac. Every time Tri-Valley struck, DMACC answered. Both teams playing great defense, getting stops on 4th downs, 2-point conversions, couple big plays on both sides to go with it as well.
There were plenty of big plays for both teams. I think that one of the biggest ones of the first half overall was that Lucas Blumeyer kick return for a touchdown. But again, equally, both teams have come with some big plays. Looking forward to half number 2, John.
Stay with us after the half. We'll have scores from around the central Illinois area, along with some analysis of the first half. First, we want to take a quick break to remind you that tonight's broadcast is brought to you by UpTrade.
No market adjustments. Bigger trade values. Low interest rates.
Lock it in today at every Uptring Auto Group dealer. Trade values are still through the roof, and we'll pay more for all makes, all models, and all mileage. Lock in a great price today. UptringAutoGroup.com.
No market adjustments.
No money down.
Increasing inventory.
Lock it in today at every Uftring Auto Group dealer with more used inventory at 8 Uftring locations and financing as low as 3.14% for up to 66 months. Lock it in at UftingAutoGroup.com.
Welcome back to Mackinaw, where Tri-Valley leads DMACC 14-12 at halftime. What a great first half it's been on a beautiful night here in Central Illinois. I know I've said it once, I'll say it again. This is just high-level football, beautiful night. You couldn't ask for more, and we're glad you're here with us on Clutch Sports Media. I want to take a quick break just to remind you that tonight's coverage is brought by your good neighbors over at
No
State
market
Farm.
adjustments.
Jody
No money
Brown
down.
over
Increasing inventory.
Lock it in today at every Uftring Auto Group
Zach
dealer
Butler
with more
in
used
Pekin.
inventory at
Jake Weston over in Washington. You can contact them via their phone or go to their website, as you can see there on your screen. Also, tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Uftring.
No market adjustments.
No money down.
Increasing inventory.
Lock it in today at every Uftring Auto Group dealer with more used inventory at 8 Uftring locations and financing as low as 3.14% for up to 66 months. Lock it in at UftingAutoGroup.com.
And Gavin, talking about some scores here in the Central Illinois area, what kind of updates do we have from halftime? I know Morton and Richwoods was close, but perhaps even a bigger storyline. How about the East Peoria Raiders?
Well, they're currently up 20-12 at halftime, at least according to the most recent score that I have here on ScoreStream. They did not have a very good start to week one. Negative rushing yards is how they started, and a shutout. But definitely not a great effort. But they're getting back 20-12 right now. Some other scores around the area. Last we can see Kankakee 7-0 on Washington. Kankakee's a very good team, so
Certainly.
Washington holding their own. We'll see if they can put some points on the board. Normal West taking care of business in a crosstown clash with the Bloomington Purple Raiders, 29-0 at halftime. Bloomington on Belleville East, 21-0 in the second quarter.
Pekin on Belleville East.
Pekin, rather, on Belleville East. Getting ahead of myself there, John. Manual and Centennial out of Champaign in a close battle. Centennial up 28-20 on the Rams in the second quarter right now. Over on 96.5 ESPN Peoria. Morton up on Richwood 17-13, a close one there. Probably nearing halftime in that game. Halftime Peoria just edging Danville right now 16-10. That's a close one. Formerly state-ranked Rock Island up on Dunlap 14-13 right now in the second quarter. Marengo over Canton right now 7-6 in the second quarter. Looks like Metamora and LaSalle Peru still in the first quarter as of our last update, 8-0 for the Redbirds. That's the latest scores we have. Of course, any other scores anybody has, they can pass along to our social medias. We're happy to shout those out on the broadcast.
Sure thing. We'll try and recap the action as best as possible, both on the air and on our social medias. You can find us on Twitter at Clutch Sports IL or on Instagram at Clutch Sports Media. Glad you're with us here tonight. Alongside Gavin Russell, I'm Jonathan Michael. To my right at the controls is Josh Messenger. On top of our press box tonight, Latif Love and Rodrigo Perez running our cameras, and Francisco Alonso down on the sideline, giving us some social media updates and taking some pictures as well. Say they tacked on about an extra 3 minutes here for halftime, so we'll have extra time to kind of recap the action of that first half, Gavin. And Tri-Valley, a lot of penalties really hurt them. DMACC, the big story for them right now is Lucas Blumeyer and his big plays. But he's been able to score and also set up another touchdown for the Chiefs.
This has just been a really enjoyable football game to watch, John, and it's because there's been a great mix of these big plays that we are so much going to talk about that we're going to see on the highlight reel after the game. But there's also been a lot of consistency, great tackling, some nice solid runs and passes, just a really good mixture of things, and that makes, again, for an excellent football game. You love to see that, especially early in the season. You think teams still knocking the rust off a little bit, but indeed both of these teams are playing at a high level. They are locked in as we expect them to. Can the Chiefs come out in the second half? Can they take care of business on the home turf? They're down too, but especially the thing that I mentioned in the first half, with how much Tri-Valley has had DMACC's number in the past few years. Last year, again, the contest Tri-Valley winners 49-8 in week 2. In the playoffs, 42-0. DMACC's got to be incredibly proud with how close they've kept this game. DMACC's crowd is going to try to will their guys to a win. Tri-Valley's trying to hold on to go to 2-0.
DMACC certainly with a home field advantage. Our head coach Cody Myers was talking about that a lot before this game. And Gavin, talking about Cody Myers, Gavin, a little bit about him. You see, he is in his 3rd season at DMACC. Myers was also a wide receiver not too far from here, just up the road at Eureka College from 2008 to 2011. From there, he got into coaching. He was a head coach at Canton between 2017 and 2019. And then last year, a big turnaround after starting 0-4. They finished 7-4 later that same year. So talk about a turnaround that happened in less than a couple months.
Yeah, it's been a long, crazy football career for Cody Myers, but he's always been a football guy. Again, he's got some great ties over there in Eureka with Eureka College, and he's got a ton of respect for all the teams that they play, including Tri-Valley, including Eureka. Again, great ties to Central Illinois football community. His time in Canton, of course, now his time in DMACC. He's just excellent coach, great leader for the DMACC Chiefs, and taking them in the direction of some success.
Certainly, Cody Myers, one of the best coaches around. So is Josh Roop over at Tri-Valley, and boy, they have had a lot of success the last couple years. Only one missed playoff berth in the last decade for the Vikings. They certainly look like they're going to be able to continue that this year as well. Clock hit 0 at halftime. Teams taking the field. We're ready to go here in Mackinaw for half number 2. Strap in, folks. It's bound to be a classic here on Clutch Sports IL.
Buckle up. It's going to be a fun one. DMACC's going to come out, and they want to make a statement early on. I assure you they are fired up. Student section seemingly growing. Every minute more students filter in. They're going to bring some noise in the second half. Tri-Valley trying to play spoiler still. Here we go.
Kickoff is away for DMACC. Takes a bounce at about the 25. And picked up there, that is number 24, Colton Prosser on the return. He gets it out past the 30, closer to the 35. We'll mark it at about the 33-34.
Not bad starting field position, 34-yard line. And again, Tri-Valley is no stranger to making big plays, so plenty of time left to go. Got a whole nother half to play. I feel like this one's going to come down to the wire, but could be decided right now.
First play of the second half. Flag on the play. Hand off to Reginald, and he is popped. He stayed up, but we'll see what this flag in the backfield could be. Excuse me, that was Josiah Sidwell on the carry. See what the flag is here. A lot of were called in the first half. A lot of laundry on the field. And this will be a hold against the Vikings. Gavin, we talked about it. Tri-Valley cannot keep having these type of penalties if they want to extend their lead.
Josh Roop's got to be frustrated. I guarantee they said something about that at halftime, and if they didn't, the guys probably got the idea that they needed to be better with that coming into the second half. But, man, first play from scrimmage right there, and you have a holding penalty. It's going to set you way back to the 24. That good starting field position. Not quite as good now, John. Goes without saying. But, again, they're capable of some big plays. DMACC's got to take advantage of this opportunity.
The Chiefs' defense has held strong for the most part, just giving up a couple big plays. That's why Tri-Valley's on top. Knocks to the quarterback, rolls out and is picked off. There goes DMACC the other way. They're already in the red zone. Short return, but DMACC has a golden opportunity to get on top on the scoreboard with the pick there.
Nearly a carbon copy of how the first half got underway, just reversed. DMACC threw that early interception in the first quarter. Now Tri-Valley throws an interception early in the second half. Boy, the momentum swinging right towards the home team. Big Mo coming for the DMACC Chiefs.
Big Mo indeed. DMACC secondary played really well, made things a little bit hard for Knox, at least through the air. Believe that may have been either Albritton or Burr on the pick for DMACC. First play, believe that's Cassidy up the middle to the 15.
What a big turn of events, though, right there. It looked like Knox may have been a little off balance. Definitely didn't make the throw he wanted to. Threw it nearly right to the defense back. I agree. I believe it was either Burr or Albritton coming up with the interception. Didn't quite get that, but either way, big stand there for the Chiefs DBs. Big opportunity, though, once again for the Chiefs to try to get in for 6. They've struggled with that in times in this game. They need to make something happen here early in the second half.
DMACC has had their struggles in the red zone, but they've also converted once on a touchdown from Brent Denniston, his first of the year. 2nd and 10. Cassidy hands off. And it looks to be Blumeyer, but he is wrapped up in the backfield. That was number 34, Blake Reginald. Two-way player getting it done on both sides of the ball tonight.
That was a really nice tackle. Again, textbook tackling. Both teams have done a really nice job, and I'm somebody that supports the fundamentals of the game. Both teams doing an A-plus job on that.
3rd and long for DMACC. Will they go to their big play threat, which has been Blumeyer tonight, but they also have Denniston. He is right below Cassidy, their quarterback. Man in motion again for DMACC. And that'll be a run to the short side. Looks like there's a flag on the play thrown at the 10-yard line. And that might be a fumble. And it looks like Tri-Valley may have recovered that. Gavin, what a turn of events this could be after DMACC just took possession. They might have given it right back, and they did. So the Vikings come up with a big turnover there, punching the ball out, and they'll take over 2 minutes into the second half. We already have 2 turnovers.
Boy, DMACC with a big opportunity, squandered right there, but both defenses forcing turnovers. Game of defense so far.
That ball may have came out too. Tri-Valley looks like they have recovered it. Ball maybe a little slippery coming out of halftime. Possibly, it's a little humid here, not terribly buggy.
Weather's pretty favorable on a comfortable Friday night in Central Illinois. Early in September, wondering if maybe the players are just getting a little ahead of themselves. Maybe the defense is definitely having an influence on this for sure. See if both teams can kind of clean up the sloppiness.
2 back, 3 receivers set for Tri-Valley. And the Vikings plow ahead up to about the 14. That was Reginald on the carry. Reginald scored the opening touchdown for the Vikings last week in their win over Arthur Lovington Atwood Hammond. That scamper was over 50 yards. And that'll bring up 3rd and 6 for Tri-Valley. Out of back and forth in this one. Neither team being able to establish significant momentum for a longer period of time. It is Knox on the keeper across the 20. He's stopped at the 24. Or excuse me, that was Fatima on the carry. And he was stopped, not the 24, at around the 20. Scoreboard shows 4th and 1. Interesting decision for Tri-Valley, Gavin. They punted from deeper in their own territory. Will they go for it here? Give it back to DMACC, maybe roll the dice a little bit. Gamble that DMACC won't convert on a red zone opportunity. Looks like they're going to stay on the field here for 4th and 1.
Go for it. Roll the dice. Leave it all out on the field. Go for it if you're Tri-Valley.
Handoff here. Goes to Fatima, and he's found some open space. He's past the 40. He's approaching midfield. He's across it. He breaks a tackle down to the 44. How about that spin move that Grant Fatima just put on DMACC? What a run there. Massive play for Fatima, our player to watch for Tri-Valley. He got it done there.
He got a little more than a first down. Big yardage there for Grant Fatima, and that's not his first big play of the game. he's showing why he is a star senior receiver. Can make a lot happen with the ball.
Dee-Mack can run the ball, showed it a lot today. And this one is Reginald. Some trickery there in the backfield. Gain of about 13 or 14 down to the 30. Gavin, well, I've seen a lot of from both teams tonight. A lot of motion in the backfield, a lot of just deception being used, and that just really shows how much these coaches are trying to out-coach each other, maybe catch one each other by surprise. There's their two teams. They know each other very well.
This is very much a coaching battle. It's a game of adjustments. I think both teams have adjusted well, but got to continue to do that in the second half.
1st and 10 from the 29. And down to the 20. Looks like that was Fatima again. As a moth is flown into the press box, Gavin. Regardless, there's a flag on the play. It'll be a hold against Tri-Valley, so another holding call there. And that's at least the 3rd on the Vikings tonight.
Yeah, they've had more than 3, I bet. Probably 3 in this half so far. It's definitely not been a great night for penalties for Tri-Valley. It's going to, again, put them much farther back. And see on the field there, Dee-Mack trying to get their guys fired up. Tri-Valley starting to take a little more of this momentum midway through the 3rd quarter, but moving backwards.
1st and 20 from the 39. And the give goes, looks like that might have been Tragat, the wide receiver there. A decent pickup there. Tackle from Tice Albritton, the wide receiver and defensive back for Dee-Mack.
Yeah, Andy Knox, I think, took it on the keeper right there. And, boy, he full steam ahead. And, again, no fear. We've seen him absolutely try and truck through a couple Dee-Mack defenders, getting hit pretty hard. Definitely fearless.
2nd and 14. Give up the middle. That looks to be Reginald on the carry. The workhorse for Tri-Valley. 3rd down upcoming for the Vikings. And Gavin, this is a methodical drive being put together by Tri-Valley. You've seen a lot of them so far today, but usually the methodical ones are the ones that have been extinguished closer to the red zone.
Yeah, it seems like both teams have fizzled out the closer they get to scoring. Not exactly sure why that is, but the bend don't break mentality is proving true. Dee-Mack's got to try to make this a tough 4th down. It is 4-down territory for the Vikings.
From the 26, knocks in the Vikings. Handoff to Reginald. He goes over a Dee-Mack defender, and for a 1st down, down to the 16. Needed 6, they got 10 there. And Tri-Valley in the red zone. Could be a big score, and what could be even bigger, Gavin, is if they end up going for an extra point or 2-point conversion that would put up by 2 scores, which would feel like a ton right now.
Yeah, it's been a defensive battle as of late, and definitely see what they can do.
Run up the gut there for Tri-Valley. Gain of about 2. Big, massive bodies there as they peel off the pile, I guess is the correct term. Welcome back to Jim McDonald Field. We apologize for the internet issues we've had. It caused us to get off air for a little bit. Gavin, haven't seen an internet issue quite like that in a while, but thankfully we were able to resort to our backup options and be back on air. Good news is you haven't missed any scoring. Tri-Valley still leading Dee-Mack 27-12 here with just more than 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. And Dee-Mack will not pick up the 1st down. It'll be a 4th and long for the Chiefs, 4th and 13 to be exact. And Gavin, you think that this has got to be a play that the Chiefs have got to make if they want to win this game?
Yeah, it's do or die time right now, but Tri-Valley hasn't scored since we went off the air last midway through the third quarter, I believe it was. Again, apologies for the technical difficulties that we've had. Able to resolve that very quickly, though. Very proud of our team to resolve that. But, yeah, definitely do or die time right now for the Chiefs.
Looks like DMACC is in punt formation here on 4th and 13. We'll see if a fake's incoming. No, they will kick it away. Another good punt here. Bounces, takes a Tri-Valley bounce into DMACC territory, and the Vikings will control possession at DMACC's 43.
Yeah, definitely DMACC just hasn't been able to get anything going. Probably a lot of tired legs out there. Again, 8 starters going both ways. It's just really tough assignment. Again, they'll kind of get their legs under them as the season goes along. And it's a really tough assignment to have such a brutal first 2 weeks of a schedule. You know, playing 2 very high state caliber teams in the first 2 weeks is no easy task. But battle tested will be the Chiefs, and Tri-Valley looks every bit of the team that everybody thought they were going to be.
On 1st and 10, it will be Knox with the QB keeper. He's going to break this one for a big play. He's inside the 20. He's brought down by the horse collar. Now inside the 10. Maybe not quite by the horse collar. That would have elicited a flag, but brought down from behind. Big play there. And Tri-Valley, as long as they just sit on this and don't cough up the football, that's going to be a huge key for them. They've done that once or twice tonight. They'll be well on their way. But, Gavin, you said at DMACC, if things hold serve right now, they'll start the season 0-2. But kind of like how a lot of college football fans said that Nebraska was the best 3-9 team in the country, I think DMACC is probably going to be the best 0-2 team in Peoria as Reginald plows into the end zone and adds 6 more for Tri-Valley. Very quick scoring drive, and they take a 33-12 lead now. It's been all Vikings in the second half.
It sure has, and boy, again, the first couple minutes thought it was going to be all Chiefs in the second half. That's not the case at all, as the Vikings come out and respond very well. Again, not a great second half for the Chiefs, but you got to get a lot of props to the Vikings. They knew what they had to do, and I would be certain as the kick misses, if these two teams meet up again later in the season like they did last year, the Chiefs are going to be a lot better prepared, and they will have a response for the Vikings.
It's been all Tri-Valley here in the second half. I was going to say second and third quarters. DMACC was pretty close in the first half. They countered every Tri-Valley touchdown with one of their own. Lucas Blumeyer with an 82-yard kick return. Brent Dennison from short yardage plowing in. That's how DMACC has gotten in the end zone tonight. And Tri-Valley gotten in there a variety of ways, mostly on the ground. That one, it was Blake Reginald, their senior running back. He's had a great game today, and he'll look to keep it going when the Vikings play Ridgeview Lexington in week 3, a team state ranked in 1, and that's going to be a great matchup. Ridgeview Lexington in the small division of the Heart of Illinois Conference. They look to be near the top of that this year.
There weren't so many great games next week, John. That's a game I'd want to be at for sure. So if you make it out to that Ridgeview Lexington Tri-Valley game, it's going to be very exciting.
Tri-Valley kicks it away, short kick, covered it at the 45 by DMACC. 4:02 left to go here in Mackinaw. Yeah, we want to thank our viewers for sticking with us despite some problems with our stream. Internet went out here briefly, but we were able to get back on the air, and we're glad you spent this Friday night with us. It's been a great game here in Mackinaw. Great facilities, very hospitable here. Great crowd tonight. You know, it's great seeing small school football, even though in Mid-Illini, the Big 12, they get a lot of attention here in Peoria. But there is some great, real competitive football always being played in the Heart of Illinois Conference.
Definitely is, and you mentioned they're going to be the best 0-2 team anywhere in Central Illinois. That's a very deceiving record for a team that's just, again, had some brutal matchups early in the season. They're going to continue to get better. They've got a star junior running back. He's got a lot left to accomplish in his high school career. There's plenty of silver lining for the Chiefs. Definitely going to have some positive to take away, and a few things to clean up as they'll try to get on the board for their first win, presumably going in next week.
DMACC, a team that went 0-4 in the shortened spring season in 2021. Just a couple months later, they turned that around and went 7-4, made the playoffs. Into the second round, they beat Chicago North Lawndale Charter in the first round 40-14 before falling to Tri-Valley in the second round. As Cassidy takes the handoff here, and he's stood up right away. Tri-Valley's defense, Gavin, has just been swarming in the second half. It really made things tough for DMACC.
Yeah, it's been very tough, and that's a staple, again, of what Tri-Valley can do. Again, last year averaging only 13 points per game, and that's about right on par tonight. They've given up 12 up to this point, gave 7 up in their first game, so they are certainly going to show their defensive muscles all year long, probably near single digits allowing per game. Tri-Valley is just one heck of a team.
Last year, the Vikings' average margin of victory, over 30 points. It's pretty good. Not quite at that mark yet here. As on the ground, I believe that was number 29 for the Chiefs. So we'll try to get a name on that. Haven't called his name yet tonight. That is Max Eccles, the backup running back for DMACC. It'll be fourth down with just over 2 minutes left to play here in Mackinaw. Tri-Valley outscored the Chiefs 19-0 here in half number 2. And the Chiefs will come out again in punt formation. It will be their quarterback, Carson Cassidy. He's had a couple good boots. Last one took a big Tri-Valley bounce. To return for the Vikings is Colton Prosser. Cassidy gets it away. High arcing kick. Doesn't go terribly far. Bounces at about the 37. It'll be down there by number 3, Dalton Burr. So, Gavin, not much else to do here for the Vikings. They can go in victory formation if they want and head back to downs, saddled with a 21-point victory over a very good DMACC team, barring anything absolutely out of the ordinary happen in these last 82 seconds.
Yeah, no, I think this is almost a lock now for Tri-Valley, and you mentioned they'll probably go into victory formation, perhaps maybe just put it on the ground a couple of times, a couple of simple runs, but either way, I think that both teams know that there's some things they need to clean up. Tri-Valley with the penalties and whatnot. Overall, I mean, both teams matched up pretty well tonight. I think that wasn't necessarily, the best game for DMACC, but again, I think it was a little closer than what the scoreboard shows. They will go into victory formation, and it was a nice win tonight for Tri-Valley. They will continue as they have, again, another tough game on their schedule heading into next week, Ridgeview-Lexington. That is going to be one I'm going to keep my eye on for sure.
Definitely, DMACC has been through the ringer the first 2 weeks, but keep an eye out for these Chiefs. They will be making noise later in the year. Lots of playmakers. Carson Cassidy really had a good showing on the ground and on the air tonight. A couple of nice-looking passes that were broken up or ball bounced off the hands of his receivers. Brent Denniston made an impact for the most part, but Tri-Valley did a good job of bottling up one of our key players to the game. Lucas Blumeyer. Also a couple of nice big plays as well for the Chiefs as the Vikings take what will be the final snap in this game. A second half to remember for Tri-Valley, taking advantage of DMACC's turnovers and also getting rid of those penalties. They run the ball down DMACC's throat and just tired him out. It's a good mark of a very strong team. Tri-Valley Vikings looking to make noise again in a deep run to the 2A state playoffs down the road.
Yeah, I mean, going to hang your head if you're DMACC. Probably not one you're going to feel great about. You definitely wanted to come out and get a win on your home field, but certainly some positives to take away. DMACC's going to continue to get better, and Tri-Valley will also continue to be very successful. Both these teams going to do a lot of good things this year. Don't count either team out.
Certainly, and we want to take one more time to remind you that tonight's
No market
broadcast
adjustment.
was
Big
brought
trade
to
value.
you
No money down.
by
Lock it in today at
trio
every
of
Upstream Auto
State
Group
Farm
dealer. The
agents.
23s are now available to order. Choose
Jody
from 10
Brown,
friends.
Zach Butler, and Jake Weston. You see their phone numbers there on the screen. Jody Brown, 309-693-1103 or jodybrown.agency.com. Zach Butler in Pekin, 309-347-3115. Visit him at sfbutler.com. And our trusty partner, Jake Weston in Washington, 309-444-4441. Call Jake from State Farm. Gavin, take a quick look around the area. What are some final scores that we have on the docket right now?
Well, I don't have any final scores for you at the moment, just according to the Peoria Journal-Star. Having a few internet things here, so perhaps we're not necessarily. I've been looking at ScoreStream, though, as you mentioned that. Perhaps my internet here is not working super well, but what I can give you right now in terms of scores, Peoria High turn on the afterburners against Danville. That game was close, 16-10 at one point. Now in quarter number 3, Peoria High up 30-10 on Danville. Champaign Centennial also turning on the afterburners. That was a close game against Manual just a couple quarters ago. They're up 62-20 on the Rams so far. We do have a big final, though, out of the Tri-County. Eureka 50, Tremont 0. Big-time shutout effort for the Hornets.
Big win for Eureka. They're another team to watch out for in this Heart of Illinois conference. And you look at two more teams that are also going to make noise. You saw them here tonight, Dee-Mack and Tri-Valley. So, Gavin, a great game tonight for both teams. Tri-Valley going to come away the victor. And you start the season 2-0. Dee-Mack moves to 0-2. And one last time for our crew here at Clutch Sports Media, my broadcast partner Gavin Russell, producer Josh Messenger, Latif Love, Rodrigo Perez on camera, Francisco Alonso doing photography and social media. We want to say so long for Mackinaw. Thanks for sticking with us tonight. And be sure to tune in next week for more great high school football action on Clutch Sports IL. So long, everybody.